You're watching the Fox Business Network. Up next, The Hill's Kristin Tate on new documents suggesting that Biden's education secretary was more involved in the White House aiming the Patriot Act meant for terrorists like al-Qaeda at school board parents upset with what schools were teaching their children. We're going to break it down next.
It's completely diabolical. I mean, this is the evidence, this email, that we have not only the Justice Department involved in this diabolical plan, but also now the Education Department.
Joining us now, The Hill columnist Kristin Tate. It's great to have you back on, Kristin. Okay, how did it get to this? It's good to see you, that we have the Education Secretary, Miguel Cardona. He's a powerful guy. That it looks like he personally requested the now famous letter from the National School Boards Association calling school board parents domestic terrorists and suggested using the Patriot Act meant for ISIS to basically aim that at school board parents. So he's in on that letter ahead of time. This is troubling stuff. What do you think?
Right. Well, if these allegations are true, this is a massive and infuriating scandal. I mean, it appears that the Biden administration waged war on parents from the top, from the highest levels. AG Merrick Garland stated that his memo, which mobilized the FBI, was based on that NSBA letter. And we're now hearing that Biden's own education secretary was involved in the creation of that very letter. Look, I mean, these radical leftists, they want to target parents because they want the state to have full control of the programming of young minds. They do not believe that parents are the primary stakeholders in their own kids' education. And the message coming from this administration, Liz, to parents is very clear. It is that you need to sit down, shut up, and you're not allowed to say anything about what your kids are being taught 7 hours a day, even when the curriculum includes, anti-historical, racist, and divisive content. So, schools are sadly just becoming political institutions instead of educational institutions, and parents are getting fed up. At least the facts are coming out now, though.
Yeah, the Education Secretary denies involvement in this, but the Parents Defending Education group says it has the emails, and it's posting the emails showing this. The idea that a member of the president's cabinet secretly helped an ally, an outside organization, the School Board Association, put together the letter, then acted on the request with the force of law, and all under the pretense of neutrality. It just seems really, really bad and scandalous, right? I mean, we're talking about the Threat Assessment Center, the National Security Division, the FBI's criminal unit. That's what the DOJ and Merrick Garland was doing, Kristin. You've talked about this and written about this. Why didn't they just sit down and listen to parents instead of using terror power against them?
Well, of course, that's what they should do, but this is all about control. It's all about federalizing and taking control of the education in this country. But there is a silver lining here, though, which is that parents are leaving public schools in droves right now, in unprecedented numbers, as this information comes out. Families are taking education into their own hands. They're turning to private schools, to charter schools, to homeschooling. It's partly because of the lockdowns, the repeated closures of schools, which is totally not based in science. But it's also because of this, because of the CRT and the failure of the public schools to really educate our youth. I mean, I live in Texas, and down here, the schools have even gone woke. Parents in my community are pulling their kids out and choosing to homeschool. And I can tell you, if it's happening here in Texas, it is happening all over the country. What's really sad, though, is that there are vulnerable kids from lower income communities whose parents cannot afford to take them out of the public schools and put them into private schools. That's why we got to have school choice and more charter school options.
We hear you, homeschooling increased nearly 40% in Virginia. But we have the former Deputy FBI Director, Andrew McCabe. He's speaking at the University of Chicago. He's accusing parents at school board meetings of, quote, political violence, saying it's essential to have a rapid and complete response by law enforcement at the state, local, and federal level against them, that they are threatening national security. And basically, he's suggesting the actions of these concerned parents is an issue, that they're serving to undermine our democratic process. Your reaction to his comments there?
It's just so crazy. I mean, I never thought it would get to this in this country, but I will tell you what, this is going to backfire politically on the Democrats. This radical takeover of our education system and the targeting of parents. What happened in Virginia with that gubernatorial race and Glenn Youngkin's victory, that is a peek at what we will likely see happen this fall and in 2024. Parents are fed up. When you mess with people's kids, they put their feet down. They say enough.
Got it. Kristin Tate, great to have you on. Come back soon, okay?